I don't know what it was about tuna steaks, but I was just never really into them. Someone cooked me one of the most delicious meals that I've had recently. It was tuna steaks, basically everything that I'm cooking today. I can't take credit for this one. It was just one of those just perfect meals. You know, one of those meals when you just don't want it to end. Every bite is so good. We're gonna do honey soy pan-seared tuna steaks with some coconut rice and some garlic tamari tender stem. I'm sold on tuna steaks. Like, I get it. I get it now, I do. Seasonings are really easy, so we're just gonna start off with some salt. You know when something is simple but effective? This is what these tuna steaks are. So we're gonna give these tuna steaks some black pepper. We're gonna combine some tamari, some honey, some lime juice, a little bit of olive oil and some coriander. Just pour that over the tuna steaks and just let it sit for about, I don't know, 10-15 minutes whilst I just continue with the other things, because the tuna steaks will cook really, really quickly. So for that gorgeous marinade, let's combine some extra virgin olive oil, a splash of tamari, a drizzle of honey, some fresh zesty lime juice. Lemons would work, but if you have limes, yeah, use limes over lemons. Gonna throw a little bit of fresh coriander in there. And I think I've got some fresh chili, so let me check. I don't actually want to overdo it with the coriander. So yeah, I found some fresh chilies. These were about medium heat, so I just chopped some up, the amount that I know that I like. And yeah, I threw that into the marinade. Mid-week simple wonders, that's what we want. You can never go wrong with combining these ingredients. These tuna steaks are swimming in that marinade. They're gonna taste good. Pop the lid on, just place them into the fridge, and then I'll remove them about 5 minutes before I'm ready to cook them. I was thinking of adding spinach, cooking garlic, adding that to the coconut rice, but this video is all about keeping it simple, which is, I don't know, it's kind of hard for me sometimes because I just have this imagination that kind of goes into overdrive and I want to add this, I want to add that, I want to mix that with this, but yeah, sticking to what I set out to do. I also said in my last video that I've been eating, or I feel like I've been eating my weight in white rice. I'm just really enjoying it. I think with foods, I just go through, well, we all go through stages, right, where we're just like, I don't know, a bit fixated on something, and I just really loving white rice. I love a brothy chicken rice soup. Maybe it's this time of the year, maybe that's what it is, or maybe I just like white rice. So just gonna measure out some rice. I've also got some coconut milk. After measuring my rice, I just made sure I gave it a good wash and rinse repeatedly. So I placed some coconut milk into the saucepan with the rice, and I placed in a little bit of water. I like a combination of both. Some people like to just add the whole coconut milk tin. I like a little bit of both water and coconut milk. I think that works for me. Put my rice to cook. Moving on to preparing that tender stem. We're just gonna give our tender stem a good wash. I just snipped off the ends and then just chopped each branch in half. So just tender stem, some garlic, and a little bit of tamari. These garlic cloves are so big. I'm not gonna crush it or mince it. I'm just gonna kind of finely chop. So I heated a pan on a medium heat, swirled in a little bit of olive oil, and then I threw in the tender stem, a little bit of tamari, I also threw in a touch of water. Cook that tender stem for about 3 minutes or so. Now I'm gonna just throw in the garlic. I don't want my tender stem to be soft. I want it to have like a nice crunch to it. You'll know when the tender stem's cooked, like you can just give it a taste. If it's to your liking, then it's great. I'm gonna finish with one of my favorites at the moment. This is furikake. So I'm gonna add some of this sesame seasoning to the rice just for a little extra touch. If you don't have furikake, you could definitely just add some sesame seeds. So just took the tuna steaks, which have been sitting in that marinade. So yeah, I heated a pan on like a medium to high heat and placed in those tuna steaks. So once you've flipped the tuna steaks over after about 3 or 4 minutes, you can pour the remaining marinade into the pan. This is my absolute favorite part of cooking these tuna steaks. And yeah, it's just gonna soak up all of those juicy flavors. Let's serve this up. All that's left to do is just plate everything up. So we're gonna grab that coconut rice, followed on by that garlic tamari tender stem. We're gonna finish with that tuna steak, throw a little bit of that sauce that's in the pan on top, some of those chilies. I placed on top a little extra furikake and some fresh coriander and a slice of lime. This is one of those perfect balanced, feel-good midweek meals that comes together in a few steps. We're gonna move on to the next recipe. So this one, actually I showed you in a week of, it was either nourishing lunches or nourishing dinners. I think it was nourishing lunches. I didn't actually share like the full breakdown of the recipe. So I'm gonna do that right now. And it is my chicken stuffed sweet potato, which has been on constant repeat, which is also why I wanted to share it in this video. Again, just to give you a simple weekday option. This one is a definite winner. I think anything that you put in a sweet potato is just gonna be delicious anyways. The sweet potato with like the chicken and lentil filling and everything else that we throw on top, honestly, perfection. So I've got some sweet potatoes. Just gonna start by washing, piercing, and placing my sweet potatoes in the oven. Usually I wrap them in greaseproof paper, but I know I don't have any greaseproof paper today, so I'm gonna do without. Could actually wrap them in some foil, I'm not sure. So I'm putting the oven on to about 200 degrees Celsius. I've got a fan oven, just so you know. Let's give these sweet potatoes a good wash. Do you know what? They're such small sweet potatoes. I'm actually just gonna do all of them because I love having some leftover sweet potatoes just cooked in my fridge anyways. Just do all 4. I don't usually wrap my sweet potatoes in foil. I do prefer to do it with greaseproof paper, but I just, yeah, greaseproof paper is gone. So yeah, I'm just gonna use a little bit of foil for the sweet potatoes. Now that the sweet potatoes are in the oven, moving on to the chicken. Obviously this can be done in advance if you want to leave your chicken, say, overnight, but I'm not doing that. I'm just gonna season it up now and I'm gonna cook it. So yeah, I got my chicken. I'm gonna give my chicken a wash. Do as you wish with your chicken, and then we can get on with the seasoning part, and then we're just gonna cook it in a pan. Add the lentils in. These sweet potatoes will be done. We'll throw it together. By the way, I'm using some chicken breast. I would have preferred chicken thighs. I just couldn't find any boneless, skinless chicken thighs. So yeah, I've got some chicken breasts. Chop our chicken into, I don't know, little pieces, I'd say. Not too little, but something like this. So yeah, let's give our chicken some seasoning, flavor everything up. Oh, got all my seasoning. If I'm honest, for ease sake, usually I just use like a seasoning blend, which we can find really easily, like some really good ones here in the UK. But just because I know a lot of you won't have access to the same supermarkets, a lot of you guys aren't in the UK, I'm just gonna do a seasoning blend from scratch. We're gonna start off with a generous amount of salt, some good salt, some good pepper. We'll throw a little garlic powder in there. I say a little, but I like a lot of garlic powder. There we go. We are going to put a little bit of smoked paprika. Not such a huge paprika fan. I don't mind it for things like this, but it's not like my favorite spice. So a little bit of smoked paprika in there. Really wish I had some cumin powder, but I don't. I've only got some cumin seeds. So where's my pestle and mortar? I'm gonna crush a few. Some cumin, some chili flakes, some ground coriander, I'm gonna add in some of this spicy chipotle paste, and I've also got this smoky tomato paste. Both of these pastes are from Sainsbury's. A little swirl of olive oil. Oh, I also added in some dried oregano. If you want, you can let your chicken sit for a couple of hours. You can let it sit overnight if you're prepping the day before. I'm gonna cook mine straight away. Before I cook this chicken, just gonna chop up the remaining ingredients. So I'm gonna grab an onion, and I've also got some jarred peppers. If you don't have jarred peppers, of course, you could just use a fresh pepper. But I actually really enjoy the taste of the jarred peppers for this recipe in particular. Otherwise, I am like a fresh pepper type, you know, person. So here we go. Yeah. Gonna open these up. Adding a little oil to the pan, I added in the jarred peppers and the onions. I added in a touch of salt and cooked until the onions had softened. Okay, I think we're good to throw this chicken in. So after about 4 minutes or so, we are going to throw, oh, please tell me I got lentils, I do. If I didn't have lentils, I would have just thrown in some black beans. So yeah, just gonna throw in my cooked lentils. I'm always showing these because I love having these in my kitchen. So yeah, I threw in the pui lentils. Chicken filling was smelling and tasting so good. If you want to, you can add a little bit more of that smoky tomato paste or the chipotle one. I'm gonna add a little bit more of the tomato one. That is delicious. That is really good. So optional extras to top your sweet potato with. I've got an avocado, I've got some sour cream, I've got some coriander, and I've got some jalapenos. I feel like the appropriate name for this dish is a chicken fajita sweet potato. There we go. It's definitely a coriander-filled type of video today. And you know, it goes without saying, if coriander's not your thing, because it definitely isn't everyone's thing, it's definitely my thing. But if it's not your thing, you could chop up some fresh parsley, you could chop up some fresh dill. I don't know if dill would be the best herb for this, but you know, herbs are herbs. Add them in, throw them in large quantities preferably. So yeah, let's serve up this chicken fajita sweet potato. So remove your sweet potatoes from the oven. Time for the chicken filling. A little bit of sour cream. Of course, if you want this to be completely dairy-free, then you can just leave that out. A little bit of avocado. Can't forget some jalapenos. Is it even a Tish recipe without black pepper and olive oil? I don't know, I don't know. Just delicious. I'm gonna go sit down and enjoy my food. I would love to hear from you in the comments. Let me know if you'll be trying out any of these recipes, and let me know what you wanna see more of on my channel as well. I would absolutely love to hear from you. See you all in my next video very, very soon. Bye.